Hello.
Or should I say,
Mabuhay!
Welcome to the second video on this channel. Today we will be answering the question, how would I judge Drag Race Philippines Season 3? I think Drag Race Philippines is the best international franchise of Drag Race, and the most recent season was my favorite of all three. Let's get into it. Episode 1, and we already have a different winner. Honestly, I don't think Kiana deserved to be in the top 2 in the week 1. She could have won more challenges than she did originally, but this is not one of them. Zimba Ding destroyed this challenge, but I think the second spot in the top 2 should have go to Mick Chanel. She did so well, and the critique about her not enjoying herself was bullshit. Like, they had 5 minutes to do it and she did a great job as a leader, and her video was my second favorite. Besides that, I agree with the top spots. Yudi, Kiana, Maxi, and Tita did good and deserved to be in the top. So, originally Kiana won the premiere, but since she's not in the top 2 in this timeline, I gave the win to Zimba. She held her own against Kiana, and I think Mix wouldn't be able to outperform her. Let's move on to the second episode, the design challenge. I think this is the challenge Kiana should have won. Both of her looks were absolutely amazing, and in my opinion, she was the best of the night. Mix was my fourth favorite, and to be honest, I think she won for storyline, but whatever. Yudi and Zimba should have been in the top as both of them did amazing, and the fact that Zimba was just safe was interesting. I completely agree with the bottoms. Versex did serviceable, but her first look just wasn't it for me. Angel and Tita are in the bottom as they were originally, and this is still going to be the double shantay. I literally cried when Angel got saved, and she deserved this 100%. Let's move on to episode 3, the girl groups. This was, I think, my favorite episode of the season. These songs are bangers, and I'm still listening to both versions. So, originally, Maxi won this challenge, but I decided to give the win to John instead. John, Maxi, and Popstar had my favorite verse, so I used the runway as a tiebreaker, and John did the best on the runway, so for me she should have won. Kiana was my fourth favorite, and she's also in the top because originally 4 queens were in the top, and I totally agree with that. I don't know if I agree with J Queen being low though. I mean, I do if she didn't lip sync all the time, but honestly I didn't clock that, so I decided to switch her with Yudi. She did good, but honestly even the bottom 2 did serviceable, so yeah. Her runway this week wasn't good, but she lost her luggage, which is so unfortunate, because I wanted her to win the whole season, and if it didn't happen, she would make a lot further in the competition for sure. Mix and Versex are still gonna lip sync, as they were the least good. I agree with Mix winning the lip sync, so sadly Versex is still gonna be the pork chop. Alright, episode 4, the hosting challenge. This is the first time I agree with the winner. Maxi did so good, and she also tried to help Zimba, while she wasn't so confident. I decided to switch one of the top placements. Kiana was originally high, but Popstar and John did amazing as a duo, and I don't understand why only John was in the top. It's probably because of Popstar's runway look, but in my opinion it wasn't that bad. And definitely not that bad to make her just safe. Mix was so in her head, and her low placement was totally fair. Yudi and J Queen were the obvious bottom 2, and we all saw what happened. It was really heartbreaking, but Yudi decided to quit. I need her back on All Stars or Versus the World because she was literally my winner pick, and she deserves another shot. It's time for the snatch game, and I don't agree with the original outcome. I wanted J Queen to go home at this point, but she didn't deserve this bottom placement. She started off pretty strong, and yes, she was struggling, but not as much as Zimba and Mix. Also, I wasn't a fan of Mix's runway, so I put her in the bottom over J Queen. Zimba did really good in this lip sync, so we have to say goodbye to Mix. Originally, she made it further, but I really think she should have went home on Snatch Game. As for the tops, I agree with everything. It was close between Angel and Tita, but Angel's runway was amazing, and that's why I gave the win to her. Let's move on to the Rizal. I completely agree with Zimba's win, but Popstar Bench had no business in the bottom. She did great in the Rizal and should have been high over Tita Baby. Maxi was really good, so I decided to put her as high. I kept Angel low, and I don't think J Queen would do good in this challenge, so she's gonna be in the bottom with John. Originally, John went home this episode, but in this scenario, she probably would have stayed. She has much better track record than J Queen, and in the lip sync did also pretty good, so we're gonna say goodbye to J Queen. It's time for the makeover, and in this timeline John is still in the competition. I decided to give her the win because here is what she would do. These looks are amazing and the makeup is also untouchable, so I think she should win. Originally Zimba was in the top and I agree with that, but if John wasn't there, Zimba should have won over Maxi. I preferred Zimba's makeover, but I'm not saying it was rigged that Maxi won. Angel is still going to be low, and Kiana and Popstar are gonna lip sync. Kiana outperformed Popstar, so she gets to stay, and we have to say goodbye to Popstar Bench. Now we will be moving on to the next episode, which was Lip Sync Lollapalooza. Originally Tita chose Mix as her opponent, but Mix is not here, so I think she would choose John. I don't know which song John would choose, but if Adrenaline, I think Tita would win, so I kept her as the winner. I also agree with Angel winning over Kiana and with Maxi winning over Zimba. So in the bottom three we have John, Kiana, and Zimba. Originally Kiana got saved, and I think in this timeline it doesn't change. So the last lip sync of the night is going to be between Zimba and John. Zimba absolutely ate that lip sync, so she's going to stay, and John is going to finish at 6th place. I think this would be the most shocking elimination of the season. We're down to the same top 5 as in the actual season. However, as you can see, I once again changed the winner. Arguably, Maxi, Kiana, or Angel could have won this challenge, and I wouldn't say it was rigged. Most people thought it should have been Angel or Kiana, but in my opinion Maxi was the best. Her verse is my favorite part of the song, and her runway was also cool, so I gave her the win over Angel. Both Angel and Kiana also devoured, and the bottom two was pretty obvious. Honestly, I also loved Zimba's verse, so it sucks she's in the bottom, but someone had to be there. This lip sync was close, but I decided to save Tita, so my second favorite queen from this season is still gonna place 5th, and it's time for the grand finale. We have to cut 2 queens before the final lip sync. In my opinion, Kiana did the best on the runway, then I would say Maxi and Angel, and then Tita. As for the talent show, they all did great, but I think Kiana and Maxi were the strongest, so unfortunately we have to say goodbye to Tita and Angel. Lip sync for the crown was also so close, but only one queen can win, so. The winner of Drag Race Philippines Season 3 is Maxi. I think she did slightly better in the lip sync than Kiana, and her track record was the strongest as well. Also, the moment when she brings Angel to the stage was so sweet and amazing.
So yeah.
Do you agree with the winner and the changes I made? Let me know in the comments and click subscribe if you want to stay with me longer. See you in the next video.